Hello, my name is Mark North, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm the head teacher at Richard Bonington. I'd like to offer a warm welcome to all families ahead of the next school year, and particularly any families who are new to Richard Bonington. We're really pleased that you have chosen to enrol your child at Richard Bonington. All of us recognise what a privilege it is to help look after your child, to educate them and to nurture them as they begin their formal education. All of us in school place a great deal of emphasis on providing an experience for pupils that supports all aspects of their development, personal, social and academic. We operate an open door policy, and whilst it may not be easy to do that physically at times at the minute, we recognise that developing an effective homeschool relationship is absolutely crucial. If you ever have any concerns or questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Hopefully, this video will provide you with important information you need to help ensure your child's first days in school are ones that they will remember for many years to come. I and my staff look forward to meeting you and working with you over the coming months.
Hello everybody, thank you very much for watching this video. This is our virtual parents meeting for the children starting in September 2020. Normally, I'd have you all sat in front of me and I'd be able to recognise lots of very familiar faces, all right, and I'd be introducing myself. I'm Mr. Hughes, I'm the assistant head teacher here at Richard Bonington Primary School. I'm also one of the F2 teachers who'll be working with your children. Down at the bottom here, it says, "Together we make a difference." And we really believe that together, so staff at school here and you at home, will be working together to make a difference for the children. All right, so lots and lots of teamwork. And here's the team. This is Mr. Beard. He's going to be the teacher of children in class 1. In class 2, it's Mrs. Lamb and me, Mr. Hughes. And then we've got our 2 teaching assistants, Mrs. Hall and Mrs. Jones as well. And I think lots of you are very, very familiar with us as well. We may have worked with some of your older children as well. If you do see us, please come over and say hello. All right, and we'd love to meet you all. So in September, things are going to be slightly different to normal. All right, the children have missed out on their chance for some preschool visits in the summer term, and we're trying to make those happen in September instead. So for the first week and a half, so from Thursday the 3rd until Friday the 11th of September, children will be invited in for half-day sessions. And you should have received that on your letter that you got recently. But what happens on the week beginning on the 14th? Class 1 children will be invited in for Monday and Tuesday. So they will be in for 2 days. So the children who are in class 2 will be staying at home. On the Wednesday and Thursday, children who are in class 2, they're invited to come into school. And the boys and girls from class 1, all right, if they stay at home for 2 days. And then on Friday the 19th, children in class 1 and class 2, you'll all be coming in. So that's going to give us plenty of time to allow children to settle into the new classroom, allow them to explore, allow staff to get to know the children, and for the children to get to know the staff and their new classmates. But down at the bottom here, we do say that classes are only really used for registration purposes and for some focused learning as well. But most of the time, children will be able to access activities indoors and outdoors, or as part of the foundation stage curriculum. But here are some things to help you get prepared. So one of the things that you'll need to do to prepare is getting the uniform. All right, and I'm going to stress this quite a lot throughout the video. Please make sure that all items of clothing have got their name in. You'll be surprised at how many different things we've got in our lost property that are not named. And I do know that some pieces of uniform can be quite expensive. So where we can, we always try to make sure that lost pieces of clothing do get home to the right home. For girls, the uniform, it can either be a green or white polo shirt. Now you can buy these from the supermarket if you like, or if you want, you can get them from the school office and they'll be branded with the school logo on there as well. Girls can also wear a green cardigan or a jumper, and you can get those from the school office if you want, or if you prefer, you can get those from the supermarket as well. For girls, it's a black or grey skirt it could be a dress or pinafore, trousers or shorts. And then in the summer, they might want to wear a green and white gingham dress as well. Finally, black school shoes, please. All right, preferably school shoes rather than boots, all right, because boots can lead to injuries when children fall over. All right, and one thing that we do say is that children don't wear trainers at school. For the boys, very, very similar. So the polo shirt, it can be green or white, and it can be ones from the supermarket or from the school office. Then for their jumpers, a green jumper, it can either be the branded one that you can get from the office, or it can be a green one that you get from the supermarket as well. For boys, it's shorts or trousers, and they can be grey or black. And again, school shoes, preferably school shoes and not boots, because we don't want to cause any injuries. And again, it's no trainers for the boys as well. Here's the PE kit. All right, now as you can imagine, trying to get a class of 30 children changed for PE in September can be a little bit of a nightmare. So we won't be getting changed into our PE kit straight away in September, but we will be going out for PE sessions, and we will need our plimsolls for those. So if black plimsolls can be in school from the beginning, that'll be super great, thank you. All right, but for the rest of the PE kit, it's a white t-shirt, a plain white t-shirt, and then it's plain black shorts as well. So sorry, no football kits are allowed. If they can all be in a named PE bag as well, and we'll keep that in school, it will be on the children's peg. All right, and I'm going to say it all, please make sure that everything has got its name on. All right, having 30 white t-shirts can be very, very difficult for us to find a home for. A few more things that you might want to do to get prepared as well. A school book bag, which you can get from the office as well. We have gone to a new supplier, so it will look slightly different to that one for September. And this price of £4 was September last year. We're not sure on the cost for it this year, but it should be round about £4. Another thing as well, if you've got children at our nursery here, you'll know that we're very, very big on our forest school. So children will need to have a pair of Wellington boots in school. Again, if you can make sure that it's got their name in as well, preferably in a permanent marker. All right, biro does tend to rub and fade away. So they can keep those in school. We'll keep them in boxes as well. And if you've got a little peg, we can keep them together. If not, we'll just put them together to make a little bit of a welly phone as well. But children will be out for forest school a lot of the time. They'll be in lots of different weather. The only time when we don't do forest school is going to be when it's really bad weather outside as well. We will go out in rain, but if it's stormy rain and thunder and lightning, we won't be going outside. And some other things that you might want your child to have at school as well. Some seasonal accessories, so maybe a sun hat as well. And these ones are even better because they cover the tops of the children's ears. For colder weather, maybe a winter hat, a scarf and some gloves. And if you can, try and find somewhere where you can name it as well. All right, we've had a few this year with Paw Patrol hats, and then we can't find which home they need to go to. In the classroom, children will be able to have some snacks as well. We provide free fruit for the snacks which we get sent to school as well. So a selection of fruit that we get apples, pears, bananas, raisins as well. So we have those on the table for children to help themselves to when they want to. Also with water, we provide some cups so children can access the water when they're thirsty. So we're trying to encourage independence by children pouring their water into the cups as well. And then straight away after it's finished, we get that put so it can be washed as well. So we're trying to make sure that germs aren't passed on. We do say that children don't need to bring in their water bottles when they're in foundation stage. Having 60 water bottles in the classroom can be a little bit tricky as well, especially if children start drinking from the wrong bottle. So that's why we're using cups instead. Here are some things for getting ready for school. Now I've put these on the school website as well, and there are a few additional ones on that list as well. But where possible, we'd like children to be able to do the majority of these things by the time they start school in September. So you can help at home by getting them ready. Can children take off and put on their own coats? We want to make sure that children can do that independently so that they can look after themselves. Can they also go to the toilet by themselves? And do they know when they need to go? So when children are sat on the carpet with us, we would expect children to ask if they can go to the toilet. But during activities where they're choosing where they want to go, if they need the toilet, then children can go by themselves using the toilets that are in our classroom. We'd also like to make sure that they can wash their hands after they've been to the toilet, using soap and water and drying them with paper towels as well. Can they play games? Can they take turns, and can they share? All right, we'd like children to be able to take turns and share with their classmates so that doesn't cause too many arguments. We'd like children to be able to have a go at writing their own name. It doesn't have to be perfect, so long as we can read it, so when they've done some work for us, they can write their name on and we can make sure that it gets sent home with the right person. Can they count to 10 by themselves? All right, so that's quite an easy one. If you watch number blocks, a lot of the time they're already counting up to 10 in that program. But then, can they count objects by pointing to each item when they say the number? So we're asking them to point to one thing, count 1, point to the next thing, count 2, point to the next thing, and count 3. Can they put on their own shoes? Now, I do understand it is very difficult for some children and they get their shoes muddled up. They get their left on the right and the right on their left. But if they can have a go at putting their own shoes on, and where possible, majority of the time children have got Velcro on their shoes, which is really good for us. We haven't got to tie up too many shoelaces. At lunchtimes, they will be using knives and forks in the dinner hall. And we do encourage children to use their knife and fork rather than picking things up with their fingers. So if you can practice at home using a knife and fork to try and chop things up, that'd be lovely. And then also, can they dress themselves? So I've already said that we won't be getting changed for PE straight away, but soon we will be. And we would make sure that children can get changed by themselves, because unfortunately I can't change 30 children all at the same time. Now, here we are. So the first few weeks, all right, and I do understand and I know that this can be a little bit of a stressful time for you as well, all right, but the children do adapt very, very quickly. It says, parents are welcome to come into class for the first 15 minutes for the first couple of days, all right? So you are able to come into the classroom. However, some children, they can find it a little bit distracting if their parents are in the classroom with them, and they can become upset. So sometimes it's best to say goodbye at the door and then the children can come in by themselves. So it says most children are happy to come in by themselves. Children can come upset when they are separating, and we understand that, all right, and this is perfectly normal. But usually, after a couple of minutes, children are fine. Okay, staff, especially Mrs. Hall, are very, very good at distracting and calming children down. If they are still a bit distressed after a little while, we can give you a call at home. But it's very, very rare that we have to do that. And on this side here, it says, encourage children to be as independent as possible. Okay, we want children to grow a lot of independent skills while they're in the foundation stage with us. So where possible, can you make sure that the children are doing things by themselves? Can they carry their own book bag and carry their own coat as well? So if they come out of the classroom and give it to you, say, or give it back to them so that they can carry it themselves. Can they take off their own coat and hang it on their own peg? We want them to be able to recognise their name and hang that up by themselves. Put in their book bag in their correct book box as well, and we will let them know which box they need to put that in. And last of all, can they make their own choices? We want children to start thinking for themselves so they can decide what they want to do and play with first. So, our school expectations. We will read with children at least once a week, and children will receive 2 books from us as well. All right, but as part of that working together, we want children to be reading at home at least 3 times a week. So where possible, if you can practice reading at home 3 times a week, and you'll have a reading diary as well that you can fill in just to let us know how the children have got on at home. Another thing, and I did say that I'd be doing this again and again, please make sure that every item of clothing has got a name in it. If it's not named, then we can't get it back to the right children. Also, if children have a little toilet accident at school, we have got spare clothes in school, so we might have to send them home in those. Where possible, all right, if you can get them washed as soon as possible and send them back into school, then that will keep our stocks replenished as well. It's very difficult sometimes when we start running out of clothes. And last of all, down here it says, support your child at home. Learning gaps can become more noticeable between children who have an active home life and those who are sedentary at home as well. So if they're sat watching television or playing on their tablet, all right, we do notice a difference between those children and children who are active at home. So where possible, if you can talk to them about their learning and about their play in school, play games and encourage them to talk about what they're doing and sing some songs and sing rhymes with them. All of this will help develop a lot of speaking and listening. It will also develop a lot of independent skills, and it will encourage children to be a lot more active when they're at school. And we want to make sure that all children reach their full potential. Now here we are, this is our daily routine. And here is our front door, all right, and a lot of you might have seen this if you've been walking into school before. It's right at the front of the school building on Galverton Road. School starts at 8:55 in the morning, so you can come and wait outside the door here. All right, the doors will open and we have our register. At about 9:15, we'll have our daily phonics lesson. So we'll be teaching children the phonics, which is the letter sounds, to help them with their reading, and it will also help with their writing as they get older. At about 9:30, our phonics finishes, all right, and we go to free flow activities. So there'll be some different activities in the classroom for children to access. We'll also have an activity where a teacher is leading it as well, and there'll be also another adult who's reading with children as well, and that will last for nearly 2 hours. So it's a nice long session for children to access lots of different things, and they'll be interacting with lots of grown-ups as well. At about 11:20, we'll have our daily math session to help with counting, learning about shapes, all right, and also getting ready to learn about calculations as well, so adding and taking away. And finally, at 11:45, the children have their lunch, which is a free lunch. So for the next 3 years, you won't have to pay for a lunch for your child at school. All right, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit as well. So they have their lunch in the hall, and then the dinner ladies will take them out onto the playground where they get to have a play with their friends. So what will happen in September as well, for the first few weeks they'll go onto the playground and it will be just foundation stage children. So we've got a small playground at school and the children will be on that playground all by themselves with a couple of dinner ladies and maybe some older children who are play rangers who will be supporting them playing some games. Later on, some children from year 1 will join them as well, all right, but for the first few weeks there'll be children just their own age. And this is in the afternoon. So their 1 hour lunch finishes at 12:45 and we'll have our registration again, and then we'll follow that with a focus activity. And it says up here, sometimes it's a story, or we might be looking at photos that we can talk about. There might be some speaking and listening activities. Sometimes we do a science experiment as well, so children get to see that. That lasts for about half an hour. Then we go into another free flow session where children can access indoors and outdoor learning, and there'll also be adults leading some more activities or some reading as well. We'll also have a story at 3 o'clock, or it might be some singing as well, or another speaking and listening activity. And then at 3:25 school finishes, so you can come and collect your child at 3:25. If your child is in class 2, so that's my class and Mrs. Lamb's class, then the pickup point is this door here. All right, we will put some signs up on the first few days so you know where to collect. For children in class 1 with Mr. Beard, it's the door that you came in the morning as well. And we found that having 2 doors like this to dismiss the children at the end of the day allows us to get the children home to you a lot quicker. Now, one of our favourite days of the week is Wednesday. This is Wow Wednesday, and you can see some of the photographs here of some of our older children who have been doing some of the activities. It says we do our ICT and we do PE on the Wednesday. We also do baking every Wednesday as well, all right, and we just ask for a £1 voluntary contribution where possible, all right, which covers the cost of our ingredients. We also do forest school on a Wednesday, so children will be out on the field then as well, and that's why we need our Wellington boots. And we also do a little bit of gardening on a Wednesday as well. So Wednesday is a really busy day, it's a fun day, and it also breaks up the week as well. Now, here's some extra information for you as well. All right, we do know that children are going to be ill, they will get sick as well. All right, they will be picking up a lot of germs over the next year. If you can, please call the office. The number is here, 956 0995. If you can give them a call in the morning, leave a message on the answer phone, then we know that they're not well, okay, and we can put that onto the register. And also, talking about school dinners here, so I've said before that children will get a free school dinner for the next 3 years. All right. You can go online to book, or you can download the app, and the app is EduSpot. All right. On this app or on the website, then you can just say whether your child wants to have school dinner or not. The menus are available on our school website. You can go to the parent section there, and there's a school dinner page there as well, and you can have a look and see what the different options are. All right, and it's on a 3-week rolling programme. We do realise that some children have got special dietary requirements. If you've got a child with special dietary requirements, then you'll need to talk with the ladies in the kitchen, all right, so they're aware of what they can and cannot have, and they will make alternative arrangements as well. Also, if your child's got an allergy, all right, you'll need to talk to the ladies in the kitchen as well. They're not able to serve any dinners to your child until they know about the allergy and they've had a conversation with you as well. All right, and we also try to encourage families to stick to the same eating pattern as well, meal pattern. So if you want to have meals Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then pack lunch on Thursday, Friday, please try and stick to that same pattern throughout the term as well. Now, I've put any questions here, all right? I know I can't take any questions right now, but if I've not covered anything that you think I might have missed, all right, please contact the school office, all right, and I can get back in touch with you as well. Thanks for watching, all right? Hopefully I've covered everything. All right, I will say one more thing. Please make sure that you name all pieces of clothing, all right, and that's the last time I'll say it in this video. Have a lovely summer, all right, and we will see you all very, very soon. Looking forward to meeting you all in our virtual home visits as well. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much. Goodbye.